That was kind of entertaining, was it not? Kind of, sort of, maybe, just a little bit. Maybe a little bit underwhelming, as most of the, spring games are. I don't know what we expect to find out in a spring game. What's up, kid folk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Considering the like and subscribe button, because I upload a video every single day. It's always related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time. So we'll wait and see what to make of this game, right? We won't draw any conclusions from a glorified scrimmage, will we? Yes, hell we will, because that's just what we do. We don't really have time to wait and see before we make an assessment about who is going to be doing what in 4 months' time, because it's not like 4 months is a long time. It's not like that's like, I don't know, 120 days, a third of the calendar year, as if a lot of things can't change. But since a lot of things can't change, let's just go ahead and say Jalen Hurts is going to be starting quarterback at Oklahoma. Not necessarily because he was that great last night, like an hour ago. He's 9-12 for 140 in like that first halfy thingy that they did, because they basically played 2 20-minute halves, and then they called that first one a half. But it was also because Tanner Mordecai was really bad. Like in that same first half, he's like 2 of 8 for 71 yards. And I get that there are a lot of people out there that still think that Tanner Mordecai is their quarterback, but I'm here to tell you, he ain't gonna be. Not on August 31st. And TJ Pledger looked good. TJ Pledger, most of the offense looked good. Even the line, such as it was. We had Clayton Woods out there playing offensive line and center. Okay, whatever, fine. The defense, Neville Gallimore looked good. Buki looked like he could have decapitated Tanner Mordecai if he wanted to. Blue jersey out here saving his life. Outside of that, Ryan Jones, that's my dude. Also, missed tackle on Lee Morris, who one-handed on you, took it to the house. That's not a good look. Also, do we not remember that Tanner Mordecai just kind of flicked that ball in the air and Justin Broyle said, "Gimme that," like a Chris Brown song? You know what I mean? Okay, whatever. I guess we're going to get into it. Let me see who's in the chat. Coop, what's good, man? Hopefully we can get an RJ review of the Lee Brice concert. Man, Coop, why you got to come in here? Coop over here just trying to punch my buttons off top, knowing I'm livid about a man getting $150,000 for a 45-minute set. What we look like here? Talking about they sold 3,000 tickets to that concert. Yeah, okay, show me the stubs. Show me the ticket stubs. You sold 3,000. 3,000? Please. You ain't sell no 3,000 tickets to no Lee Brice concert for no $30. Please. Get up out of here. That's my review, Coop. Let's see, Slim was good. Jelly was good. Rain's in the house. Billy Clark's in the house. Martin's in the house. Zach Mitchell, what's good, fam? Stephen Gordon, what's good? Sean Stapleton's in here. Douglas Ivy's in here. DH, I see you. Austin's in here. C. Powell, J. Bones, John Dixon, Ryan, what's good? Candy McDaniel, there's a name. John IBM, what's good, man? Ryan since Jump. Let's see. Mario Ibarra, Sean Robertson, Austin Fairborn? Yeah, okay. Say Lee Brice again, I'm gonna put you on mute. Try me. Let's see. Wade Ferris. Coop, no, you're not. You are not sorry. Don't apologize because you're not sorry. Let's see. Clint Johnson was good. Jim Bridges was good. Jake was good. Michael Rios, I see you. Love Scars. Why? Okay. Mateo is good. I know somebody else named it. Terry! What's up, Terry? Joe Richmond. Man, I'm this close to being done with Clark's vlogs. This close. I keep making them too long. Let me see. Dominic was good. Hank was good. Let's see. Orenthal Hester? There's a name. Virgil! Preacher in Nebraska. I appreciate you, fam. Dominic's in here. Jesse's in here. Walker was good. Michael's in here. Maseo? Okay. Christopher Bundy was good. D-Man. John Robio. Vincent Phillips. Jenna. All right, man. I'm going to need you to change your Google tag from Jenna James. All right? We're not going to do that off in here. C. Powell was good. Christian Taylor was good. Joe. Robert Bratton. I see you. Let me see. Theo did look good. Jamal Cooper's in here. Let me see. Corey Lewis. Travis Penner. Ken Williams. Not son, but Ken Williams. Sean Hines. All right. Let me see if I can get to some questions before we get some takes. Come through here like you are Jim Rome. Have a take. Try not to suck. All right. I don't necessarily want questions because y'all watch the game. If you ain't watched the game, go find highlights of the game and come back. All right. Let's try to have some takes tonight. See what we got here. I'm looking for things. Let me see. Because my quarterback doesn't write an undying love letter to Alabama on the day he transfers to OU. All right, so Rain's got a good point here. There's a lot of people that still don't know what to do with Jalen Hurts because he's not all in on OU, and it doesn't necessarily look like he'll ever be all in on OU. But I think if Jalen Hurts won a national championship, we wouldn't really care. Write your love letter to Alabama if that's what you need to do. If you need to tell your girl in Alabama that you love her while you dating your girl in Oklahoma, fine. If she believes you, that's on her. That's her fault. Because them long-distance relationships don't really go down like you expect them to. And I don't care that he's writing you a text in Oklahoma. He's still in Oklahoma writing you the text. So I don't necessarily, read into it that he's writing to Alabama. I mean, it's like a bad rom-com where two women fighting over a dude. I'm saying, look, let me use this man. We got this prenup in place. Let's go get the loot. And then when we win that championship, give it half. That's just what it's going to be. I get it. Dude is here for Alabama. He's here for OU for a year. He feels like he's an Alabama dude from Texas. But then again, he's from Texas. We all know that the folks from Texas, they'll split hairs with you. They ain't no thing to them. You a Texas quarterback who loves Alabama, who plays at Oklahoma. He got his own problems there. I'm not worried about him writing no love letter to Alabama. And matter of fact, he just ain't the quarterback that Tanner Mordecai was, and not at least tonight, which is what we're talking about, right? And Spencer Rattler ain't even suited up yet. And all of y'all want to make Spencer Rattler the next heir apparent to Jalen Hurts anyway, so it's a wash. Reigns, I don't really see the problem there. I just don't, Let the dude quarterback at Oklahoma. Ride him all the way to a national championship. You want another national championship? You want a quarterback that's going to pen a love letter to Alabama. It's that simple. You know what I mean? Let's see what else got in here. She over here at hashtag Team Mordecai. I'm wondering how many entered the portal this summer. That's a good. Let's put the over-under at 5. Right? We know Tyrese Lott is in there. We know that Ron Tatum is in there. We know Jalen Robinson's in there. We know Derek Green is already committed to Vanderbilt. So that's 4. Got to be at least one more in there. Got to be. Hopefully not another defensive tackle because that defensive line looking real thin for Granch. Hopefully not. What else we got in here? Sean Staples. Jamal Morris looked like he could be the next OU defensive star. Yo, man. I'm going to stop right there and just say a lot of people wanted to crown Buki this time last year. I'm still in Buki's corner, but y'all said the same thing about Buki last year, and all of a sudden y'all trying to wrap Jamal Morris up in that same sense of logic. That's not logic. It's wishful thinking. Let Jamal Morris grow up. There's a lot of dudes out there that could be the next OU defensive star. Why are you trying to put it all on number 15 right now? Why not? Why aren't you talking about Brian Meade? Right? Make him the next one. Ronnie Perkins. How about that? Parnell Motley. Why don't you ride for him? Why you got to put it on the early enrollee? Dude has had all of ridiculously shallow 15 practices at Oklahoma. You already want to anoint him. Let's not. Let's let that dude grow up. Okay? Last thing that anybody wants to be is labeled as a prodigy. Not at no spring game. Pump your brakes. What's got in here? Snap the damn ball, RJ. Yeah, okay, it snapped. All right. Okay. Am I going to really be putting people in timeout for saying Lee Bryce out here? Because we can do that. We can turn this whole entire stream into me just putting people in timeout for Lee Bryce until I find something else y'all want to talk about. Let me see. Stephen Gordon, how was the defense? Stephen gets to ask me a question. All right. So, defense was trash. Defense was trash. Had some good plays. Defense was trash. Parnell Motley came up a little gimpy. I told you about Buki and the safety blitz. He looked good. He got the start. For all the people that want to throw Buki out with the bathwater, Buki got the start at nickel. Okay? Put that in your skull. All right? Ryan Jones needs some work at the will linebacker position. Feels like it's going to be Kenneth Murray Jr. and Deshaun White and or Brian Meade right now, right? Levi Draper was out. He's on the injured list. We'll see what happens there. Safety play. Talked about Jamal Morris. He looked good. Robert Charlton got toasted, but he's playing up against Trajan Bridges, who's one of the best wide receivers. And that's kind of the point here, right? The offenses were loaded. You had 5-star receivers on both offenses. You had Jalen Hurts quarterback. You had Tanner Mordecai, who had a bad game, and you still couldn't necessarily turn that into a good thing, even as Justin Broyles had to pick off in the return. The corners look bad, but I think that's because the corners are thin. You ain't going to start Robert Charlton in no game. Be real about that. You know that. And you're not going to make your linebackers that thin. You know that. You also know that you're going to be a little bit better at defensive tackle than you are right now. Laurel in here, moving around. Hey, baby. She on the couch over here giggling, watching the chat from the other room. Yeah. You okay? She says she's okay. Now she's embarrassed and she's telling me to go back to chat. I'm gonna do that now. What we got in here? See, I told you not to make that joke, and you made the blue jersey lives matter joke. I said don't make that joke. I wrote a book about this. You can't make that joke. Let me see. Commit so far. Yeah, just the one so far that we know about. I put the over under at 5. It was 7 last year. We'll see what happens. A lot can happen between now and Sunday. I'll put it that way. Bro, don't knock the price. Man, do you know what channel you're watching? Clark Beckham or go home. Let me see. What's the number of people in attendance? 50,000. 50,000 plus. So about 3,000, 2,000 fewer than last year. Right? Wanted to break the school record for attendance, but you know what? Moving the 4 days before you're supposed to play the spring game to 3 days to when you're going to play the spring game, still get 50,000 people to show up to your event. That's not a small deal. I call that a win. You know, I know he wanted to break the record and probably would have broke the record in some really crappy weather on Saturday. But getting to 50,000 when you move the game, we'll take that. Got to take that, especially with 20 official visitors plus on campus, right? Doggone near 35, 40 visitors. You'll take that. That's a good win. What else we got in here? Boomer from Africa. Africa's a really big continent. Be more specific. Let me see. What's got in here? I'm so glad that OU got to see what Jalen can do even in a vanilla spring game. I'm not, Tony. I want to see what the dude can do in a Lincoln Riley coached offense, because watching what he did basically at Alabama as a freshman is not what I wanted to see, and that's what I saw. I don't want to see that. You know, I hate spring games specifically for that. It's all vanilla. You don't see exotic blitzes. You don't see X's and O's. You see dudes taking it easy. You can't see if a quarterback can take a hit. You can't see what a quarterback can do in the open field. But I did enjoy getting to see the dude, right? I'm probably going to try to cut up that video of him throwing the ball all over the yard too. I appreciate you, Virgil. Thank you. Yep, Coop saying give it up to the fans who showed out. Yep, true. Case Cap Shot. Comments on the defensive scheme. I like it. I like it a lot because I thought it was going to be what OU was doing last year, to be quite honest with you. Because we keep saying 3-4 because it feels like you have 4 linebackers out there, but you don't. What you have is basically that hybrid outside linebacking rush end. That's what we're calling it at Oklahoma. You got your Mike and your Will, which are your 2 inside linebackers, and you got 5 DBs on the field. That, to me, is what you need to run in the Big 12 to succeed. That's just what it is. You're going to run some version of 5 or 6 DBs. Like they did it at Texas. And Texas, for my money, had the best defense in the Big 12 last year. Certainly gave Oklahoma fits, right? If you have the safeties to run it, run it. Put 3 safeties on the field. Get you the big long corners that you want to have. Have them lock people up, press man coverage, and blitz. Make your 2 dudes in the middle your tackling machines. That's the way I would draw it up. I like the scheme. Yeah, I understand wanting to have a dude without his hand on the ground as your last rush, but I would rather have a defensive end there. But I'm not going to argue with Grinch about that. You know, if you want to have your dude in a 2-point stance coming off the edge, fine, that's on you. I would much rather have just 4 prototypical 1-gap scheme defensive linemen rushing a dude. But you know, if I can get 4 guys rushing the quarterback all the time, I'm gonna take that. I think that's the way to go. I think if you get that nickel position figured out, that safety spot figured out, everything's going to be cool. Okay? And from what I saw, they'll get it figured out. You still got dudes that you can't account for that ain't in here. Ty DeArmond, Jeremiah Cradell, I keep going, Jaden Davis, Woody Washington. A lot of dudes that have some talent that are going to have opportunities to play. I like the scheme, Casey. It's a good question. I like how they move Buki around. I mean, that seems to be what they're going to do with that nickel. Let's see. Who do we recruit after the game? Go check OUinsider.com. There you go. Pat Fields starting safety this year. Maybe. Matter of fact, I'm going to need to make this video, but I'm going to drop it here because y'all are here. Look, Grinch in the pregame show that they did with Toby and Teddy, where it's real OU sunshine up your butt. What they said was, they all like everything that they see. They like, I would love to see what those dudes don't like that they see. But they had Grinch on with Cootie. And Cootie asked a question that led Grinch to say names. to actually drop dudes. And he name dropped a few dudes that he's like, they have a really good shot at starting next year. They're leaning toward that. The dudes' names that he dropped, you gonna like them, you're not gonna like them. I'm stalling because I just kind of want the pressure and the energy to just build on you and maybe to throw stuff at you, scream. See, Laurel's in there just laughing. Look, it's gonna be, did I tell you about what this shirt is? I love this shirt. I'm stalling because it's fun. All right, look, Kenneth Murray Jr. at middle linebacker. Deshaun White was not mentioned, but he was shown later as, you know, I think this was recorded before Caleb Kelly's injury was announced, right? So Kenneth Murray Jr., Neville Gallimore. I wrote it down. Let me go check it. Let me make sure I get this right because I teased y'all long enough. Let me make sure I get it right. All right. Neville Gallimore, Ronnie Perkins, Kenneth Murray Jr., Pat Fields. Those were the 4 names that he name dropped. All dudes that I think most of us would have been like, yeah, those dudes going to play. They're going to play a lot. But it's still nice to hear Grinch say that those dudes are going to play a lot. Now, I know that Kenneth Murray Jr. is going to be the controversial character into that, you know, in your scheme there. But I love Kenneth Murray Jr., and I still contend my man had 155 tackles last year, which is the most tackles by a middle linebacker at Oklahoma since Curtis Lofton. And y'all love Curtis Lofton. Matter of fact, I feel like if we'd had Twitter when Curtis was still playing, y'all be dogging him too. But I like me some Kenneth Murray Jr. I like Pat Fields too. So to answer your question, if Alex Grinch thinks that Pat Fields is going to start, I would say he's going to start. Now, whether or not he needs to be starting, we can go up in the air about that because spring practice is spring practice. But what we did see is that he was the best player in the Orange Bowl. And that dude can play anywhere. If you're playing against Bama and you look good, have at it. Justin Broyles, though, is healthy. And Justin Broyles did not finish the season healthy. So I think that Pat Fields is going to have his hands full with Justin Broyles back there, who, by the way, had a pick in this game. Doesn't matter that Tanner Mordecai put up a duck. Does matter that he came down with it. And then, you know, Justin Broyles is Justin Broyles, so he thought he returned it, even when they was like, nah, man, we're just not going to waylay you on the sideline because this is a spring game. Kind of would like to see what would happen if Justin Broyles get hit because I know Justin Broyles like to talk a lot, but, you know, that's just me wanting chaos to ensue because I want to be entertained. But let's see what we got here. It's been 1 year since I watched you, man. Great decision. Love watching. Appreciate that, Brady. Does Bridges have a realistic shot at starting this fall? Had an incredible showing tonight. Or was it just bad defense? Not taking anything away from Bridges. He's obviously extremely talented. I think you could say the same thing, Jim, with the last name Bridges, about all of the receivers who are who played significant amount of time as freshmen. It's really hard to gauge who's good against Oklahoma's defense because Oklahoma's defense is not only trash last year, but as Alex Grinch laid out for the rest of y'all, 129th out of 129 teams against the pass. Matter of fact, I'm sitting on the couch watching this game with Laurel and talking about, you know, defenses and scheme and whatnot. And, you know, I'm on the Jim Thorpe Award committee and it's like, yo, are they good? I'm like, they're not only not good, they're the opposite of what you're looking for on the Jim Thorpe Award committee, which is given to the best defensive back in the country. So as a group of defensive backs, OU was the worst in football. So it's really difficult to say whether or not one of the best receivers in the 2019 class was just really good tonight or the defense is really bad, because that's the schism, right? That's the chasm. That is the canyon between good and great and bad and god-awful. So what I've seen out of high school, Traden Bridges is going to be a great receiver. But the obvious deal here is there's only one ball and there's like 15 playmakers on this offense. Excuse me. You got CeeDee Lamb, you got Kenny Brooks, you got Trey Sermon who didn't play, TJ Pledger obviously, you got your quarterback, you got Austin Stogner, you got Grant Calcaterra who didn't play, Lee Morris who did play, and then you got the 3 5-star wide receivers coming in. It's going to be really difficult to get the ball. So if Trajan Bridges can beat out Theo Weiss, Jane Hazelwood, and of course, you know, your man Charleston Rambo, yeah, he's going to have an outstanding season. But I think it's conservative to say that Trajan Bridges has 25 catches next season. He's doing pretty good. Matter of fact, I would say that for most all of the true freshman wide receivers because it's just that deep over there. Saw Michael Jones. Remember that dude? Dude was a beast till he got hurt. So it's going to be an uphill battle for everybody. Coop, enough with the... Coop's up here talking about it's all up from there. That dude is a die-hard Sooner fan. Obviously, I'm on the channel, so you know how I think about it, but I'd be mad as hell about 129th in defense. I wouldn't be like all up from there. I'd be like, I want some heads. Gonna go with defense was bad. See, like I'm saying, yo, do you know how they went about splitting up the offensive line for the game? Apparently, like, they cut up the roster 6 different times, so much so that whoever was calling the game with Spencer Homer Tillman, they didn't know what they were calling because they divvied up the roster so many times and they just want to get a good read. I don't honestly draw anything from the offensive lines they put out there except that they played. That's about it. That ain't going to be anywhere close to the offensive line you see on August 31st. I'm sure I'm going to do an upload about the offensive line when I study it a bit in depth, because this is like a reaction deal, because I saw what you saw. I haven't studied it yet. I will study it. I did record it. But I don't plan to have anything, amazing to say about the offensive line, except that all those dudes were healthy and they were playing out of position. Maybe that'll change after I study, but right now I'm like, whatever. You didn't let the quarterbacks get killed. Blue jerseys helped you out with that. We'll go from there. Appreciate that, Jim. Slick Rick, what you got? Slick Eric. Oh, okay. Do you know how they went about split? Yep, that's your question. RJ for Heisman 2019. Nah, man. Nah, man. Just give me the national radio show. RJ, why the D-line not shift pre-snap? Again, vanilla. Stuff I wanted to see, stuff you wanted to see, stuff we all wanted to see. Vanilla. Spring games are glorified practices. You paid money to watch practice, which I'm sure is worth a lot to a lot of people. It ain't to me. I'm just, I can't get it up for no spring game. One practice where I only see what you want me to see? Nah, man. That's why you didn't see any pre-snap read. Because it's vanilla. They're not showing anything. Let's see. We need 4 defensive linemen to penetrate and make QBs nervous. I mean, like, if that was your take, Sean, I'm be mad that I clicked the thumbnail. Okay? Give me some substance there. What else we got in here? Defense. Bill Bedenbow will have the line worked out every single year. Every year we go like, yo, what's Bill Bedenbow going to do? And every year he's like, watch this, and puts one of the best offensive line units in the country out in the field. Every single year. Brandon McDaniel. Hazelwood was an unattractive route running technique. Has an unattractive route running technique. Okay, but can he get open? I mean, it's college. It's not the NFL. And I've already gone on record saying I think that Theo Weiss is the most polished of all the incoming wide receivers. And that's saying a lot. But to talk about the dude's route running technique in a spring game, I think he's disinterested. I think that's going to be the issue with Hazelwood going forward. I think he's used to being the focal point of the offense, and that's just not going to be true at Oklahoma. It's just not. Not for at least a year, if not a couple of years. And for a guy that has been told over and over again that the sun rises and sets on him, this is going to be a reorienting of his ship. Because he's not the North Star. He's now following it. So getting him engaged and keeping him engaged is going to be Dennis Simmons' biggest, it's going to be his biggest problem. Because he's got a bunch of dudes out there that absolutely can play. Show that dude up. And I know how hard it is to be a freshman in college, let alone what it must be like to be a star freshman in college. We'll wait and see, man. I hope he gets it figured out. But I think his route running technique is going to improve as he just kind of bears down. Because bearing down ain't what a whole lot of these dudes had to do. It's been easy for them. It's no longer going to be that easy. Especially when you come to a place at Oklahoma, where all we do is put out NFL caliber talent on the offensive side of the ball. Yeah. So we're going to wait and see on old Jaden. Appreciate that, Mark. Jamal Morris looked like he can make some noise. Yeah, all right. Practice scared, play scared. I mean, did you get that off a bumper sticker? Do you have that on your wall at home? Are you the dude that got play like a champion above your bedpost? Stop that. Don't come in here with the dime store stuff. Give some substance in there. I mean, I like a slogan. I put slogans on on shirts, but like, come on, man. Give me some substance. You got 200 characters here. Use them all. Let's see what we got here. What position will Drew Sanders play? Tight end. See how loaded they're going to be? You're going to have Austin Stockner and Drew Sanders at tight end. Maybe Drew Sanders can play some H-back, but right now he's a tight end. Quarterback, converted tight end. Michael Henderson, quarterback, converted to H-back. Right? Man, going to be filthy. Who has a better chance of getting 1,000 yards receiving this year? CD Lamb. CD. Charleston. I really think that a lot of folks are putting a lot of stock into the freshman wide receivers. That is misplaced. Now, if it was like the defense, where the offense had been really bad, then absolutely. Drop my pen. Absolutely, they'd be great. But I think with the loaded depth chart that you have at Oklahoma, even guys like that are going to have a hard time getting the ball on the regular. So to say any one of them is going to be a 1,000-yard receiver next year is hubris. You haven't been paying attention. You don't know that all Oklahoma does is score and score quickly. You're not going to have enough snaps. You're not going to have enough possessions. I just, no, man. It's going to take a couple of years. It just is. This is Oklahoma. I'm sorry. Winning just a mindset. I don't know, man. My mindset is winning. I get depressed. I don't think winning is a mindset. I think everybody gets up, goes to work, does the best they can. Some of us are a little bit better at the details. Some of us have a little bit more innate talent than others. And that's just how it's going to go. I can't sing like Clark. It's just not what it's going to be. You know? I'm not going to play in the NBA because, believe it or not, talent is about what you can't teach. I can teach you to dribble. I can't teach you to be 7 feet tall. So to be like winning is a mindset, I mean, to a degree. But sometimes you're just lucky. And you made the most of that luck. See Oklahoma Army 2018. You know? Come on, man. Let's get away from the fortune cookie wisdom that is all over football and sports and get into what is the substance here. What are you actually saying when you say winning is a mindset? Complicate that a little bit. Give me a thesis, a claim, some reasoning. Give me a take. Let's go. Trajan going to be a beast. We'll see. Hey, RJ, our offense as explosive as last year. I know Jalen isn't as big as a wow factor as Kyler, but we had a loaded receiving game. And what about our defense? Can you talk to me about that? I mean, I feel like I've been doing that all night, dog. So I don't know what else you would like me to add specifically. Julius Caesar, there's a name. Do you think Lincoln should run 2 tight ends? That would be a nightmare. I see you were watching the upload that I did with College Football Nerds where they're like, look, treat him like Cam Newton in Auburn where you got 2 tight ends. You got to bring him in to block if you don't want to respect it, what have you. I think Lincoln Riley's going to run whatever the heck it is Lincoln Riley wants to run. And if you listen to Bronson Irwin and you watch the games, you'll see that they only run like a handful of plays. They just run them really, really well. So I don't necessarily think that the offense is going to adapt, I should say, to Jalen Hurts. I think it's going to be the other way around because you can do that in Oklahoma. You can plug him in. And then, yeah, you'll run some stuff that he's good at. Like the first play that he ran was rolling out to his right, getting him out in space on a naked bootleg. I think you'll see more of that. But that'll all be within the scheme of the system and the offense. I think that's just what it's going to be. All right. I think that is going to do it for me. I'll have more uploads on this. I already have an on-demand upload up on this. If you like the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time. I will see you tomorrow. Deuces.